How's your back feeling?
It's better now for sure. So yeah, I'm sitting in a new ergonomic chair. Yeah, the other week I woke up and I just couldn't get up. Like I could not get up. It was like alarming.
Honey, what are you doing?
Nothing.
What's wrong?
I can't move.
Gabriel woke up and he wanted some breakfast, so I tried to get out to get that going, and I couldn't do it. And he was like, "Where are you, Dad?" And I was like, I told him, I was like, I can't move, like I can't do it.
So was it because like you could tell that your back was in too much pain, or was it actually like the muscles aren't moving properly? I can't actually get out of bed.
Yeah, like I knew that if I tried to get up, I wouldn't be able to stay up. There was something there was some structural integrity that I knew was amiss. It was in my lower back, and if I did try to get up, yeah, I would I could buckle and stand for a bit, but then I would collapse basically. And
Great.
I was like, "Whoa, this is weird." And I was like, "How to get a heating pad?" And I just threw it under there. This was it just heated up for a bit, and then I was like, I think I can get up. So I was hobbling around, I literally grabbing things to stay up and walk around. It was really alarming. I was like, is this my life now? Am I is this a degenerative disease? Am I dead?
Do you think that you pulled? Did you pull something the day before or anything like that?
My guess is it was a combination of things. Maybe, yeah. It's I did some gardening, and so I was lifting heavy bags of dirt, and the doctors always say lift with your back, not with your knees. So that's what I do.
And that turns out my back hurts.
You doctors tell us to drink 8 glasses of gravy a day.
You're a little confused.
Oh, confused, would we?
So I just worked. I was working from home because it was a Friday, and I was basically laid up on my back, just lying. I was lying on the floor because I was the straight flat floor was the most comfortable thing for me, and I was doing my work lying down like that. I was this, I should have called out sick, but whatever. Then as the day progressed, I could sort of get up and walk around. I looked up some YouTube stretches, so I did some stretches that for my lower back. And those seemed to loosen things up a little bit. And then at night I drank a little whiskey, and then I was like, oh, things are loosening up a little more. That it was almost worked like a muscle relaxer. So my guess is it was a back spasm, a muscle spasm.
That sure sounds that way.
And so because if the whiskey was acting like a muscle relaxant, it's probably that. And so I could walk around some more. But then I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just oh, it's back. I couldn't get into any position that felt comfortable. And then all of a sudden I was just gyrating to do that, to get into a good position. I heard a pop, and I was oh, now I feel pretty good. And I was able to sleep. And when I woke up, I felt a lot better. My back was still stiff, but I felt a lot better. And I just kept doing stretches, and I immediately after that happened, I was I can't sit down on the chair that I have in the basement, because it was the chair in the basement that I usually sit on for this podcast. It's it was one of those things where when you go on Amazon and you just let the algorithm just pilot you, and you just this is a chair and it says everyone likes it, and you just click it, and I was that's what I'm getting. But I knew it was causing problems. Every time I sit in, I'm oh, this is probably not great where the posture it puts me in. And so I threw that into the river. It's gone. And I went to Staples, and I got a chair that's similar to the one I have at work, which is one of these mesh back chairs, and it has lumbar support. And it's nice. It's
the right amount of give.
Yeah, and it's it doesn't have it doesn't cause one pressure point. It kind of spreads it out a little bit. It's
Not
nice.
to be a fruit, but have you considered the standing desk thing at all?
No, I refuse to stand. I would rather lose my ability to walk than stand at a fucking computer. Frankie, I would rather lose my ability to walk. I'm not standing at a desk. I hate it. I hate doing that. I tried it, and it's just like, it's not natural. It doesn't get me in the mood to work.
I completely agree, honestly. I do stand for the pod. I used to sit, but I found that like when I need a little energy and like I want to be thoughtful and remember things, like standing is a little bit better for like chit chat, I find.
Yeah.
But not computer work, not with my arms up, you know?
Yeah, I've just been doing my stretches, and I've been making sure I work out. Like, that was the thing, is I got sick, like a few months ago, bad respiratory diseases, and I just didn't want to work out. And then I got out of my workout routine. Yeah. And working out just like makes you feel way better, and and make sure, especially, I do the rowing, which I think activates my back a lot. And I just got out of that, and I was just, sitting in that dumb fucking office chair, not working out, then lifting up bags of dirt with my back, and I just think it caused a problem. It's a wake up call. You got to do maintenance on yourself.
This tailbone thing is like a real problem. Like I don't know what to do, dude. Like it's worse than ever. I'm limited in what chairs I can sit in for how long. Like I'm going to the chiropractor and having some relief that first day was a real tease, because I was like, wow, like a life without like being, having this like lingering knowledge or awareness of like butt pain. It does. I mean, it changes your mood if like you have like a pain in your ass all the time, that you just kind of live with. But I think a lot of us like have some injury or something that we're kind of like hobbling around with that we don't talk much about, and that we just kind of like, we've gotten used to it. But it sure would be. I think maybe there's a surgery you can get, but am I really going to open up my ass to a surgery? Am I really doing that? I don't know. But it sucks, man. It all goes back to like, I was bike riding in 2009 with I don't like bike riding. My dad like guilted me into doing it. And if I ever mention like the tailbone fracture to this day, he's like, oh yeah, sure, all my fault. Like he gets really upset. I'm like, I didn't even.
Yeah, it is your fault, Dad.
I'm like, actually, yeah.
You
one way I can remember you, Dad. In other personal news, it was Gloria's birthday, and we went to New York City for her birthday. There'll be a Gloria Goes To that will come out. I shot a lot of video. Last year, she had a party, and she wasn't like super into it. I mean, I think she enjoyed having her cousin over and having some friends over, but she gets she's just so in her own head. So she like,
yeah, my boys do not like birthday parties.
Is that right?
Yeah, Noah's birthday is next week, and he says he doesn't even want it. He wants to just go out. He wants to go to the air museum. He wants to do a couple things, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to have a party. So both boys are like that. It's great. It's crazy. Yeah. Even if you're like, oh, people are gonna come over and bring you presents, and they're like, it's not worth it. Are they? Would you say that they're both introverted? I mean, Anna and I are introverted. So I would say it's probably Noah is way more extroverted than Gabriel, I would say. Because Noah will go up to people, be like, hi, how you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing? My name is Noah. I never did that in my whole entire life. Never. I remember you being kind of outgoing when I first met you, maybe a little bit. But you were also paying a lot of money to like meet people at college and stuff. Yeah, no, I get activated by creativity. Right. So maybe it's like, that's what I find about I feel like I have a lot of introverted friends. I have an introverted wife. Like I've been close to a lot of introverted people, and I find that like none of them are necessarily non-social. It's that they are not naturally social. And so there are certain things that were like, but kind of once you're in their bubble or they're in your bubble or whatever, then they kind of like resemble an extrovert from that point forward. It's interesting. People think like, boil it down to shyness or something when it's actually more like, it's just like a gear that you can or can't get into. We had to take some at work, one of those like, feels like every couple of years they make you take a personality test, and then they're like, let's see like how the team work, who has what personality type. And this one was called the DISC, and it was, you probably have heard of Myers-Briggs or Strengths Finder, Clifton Strengths or whatever. This one was, DISC, and it's like 4 quadrants, and the 4 are D for dominant. Those are people who have like no time for details. They want you to cut to the point. They want to give you direct feedback. They want direct feedback. They're goal oriented. They're mission oriented. They want to like drive towards the goal. Like that's what really motivates them.
I for influence. That's somebody who like, their superpower is like sociability, relationships. They'll take the time to be like, so how's the kids? And like lay a lot of the social foundation and all their, and if there's like not a social relationship there, they're like very fish out of water. There's C for conscientiousness, which was like people who are very like process oriented, detail oriented. They don't want to like move forward with things that haven't been fully verified, that sort of thing. And that tends to be where a lot of the introverts live. If you're like a firm C, and then they had like S for steadiness. So people who are like really just there to like provide stability and calmness and, make everybody feel welcome and like things aren't going to blow up or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It took like a half hour to take the test, and I got a DI, so a dominant influence. So it's like, yeah, you're like driving towards stuff, and also like you do so with relationships. And I was like, fair enough. Sometimes I feel like the extroverted, sociable side of me is a little bit like overemphasized or like overinterpreted by people. Because there's a version of me, I don't know, 40, 50% of the time where I'm like, oh, fuck, like, can I please just stay home and work on my thing independently? I just want to, like, I just need some time in isolation to work. And, like, certainly, oh, my God, like, I could go on, we could do a whole podcast on meetings. But, like, this thing where everybody wants to turn everything into a call or a meeting, for things that take 5 minutes to interact with on email or Slack or whatever, and they want to turn it into like, do you have some time later today to have a quick meeting? I'm like, do I have time later to have a quick meeting?
Yeah. What's the saying? Like, this meeting could have been an email. This email could have been a text. This text could have been a thought, and keep your thoughts to yourself.
I think what's really insidious about it a lot of the time is, and I'm not saying like all meetings are unnecessary. I think like I could tell you all about all the meetings I think are necessary. Like, yeah, they're like open lines of communication, have touch points, meetings that have agendas, of course, like actual like actionable agendas. I don't like to have meetings where like nobody prepared for what we're talking about. Like, I think that's total bullshit. Yeah. Like, why don't we not meet and everybody will go prepare, and then we'll actually know what we're talking about, so that like, because otherwise the likelihood that people are going to talk in a circle is so high. And that they're just, and it's like the what's the thing, like the Parkinson's law, that work expands to the amount of time that you assign to it. So if you assigned an hour to the meeting will take an hour, even if nothing gets spoken about for an hour. If you scheduled a half hour, it'd be a half hour, even with just as little content or just as much content. The same thing goes for like it's a team of 5. So now they're like, we must assign like equal work to 5 people. Like it is how these things just tend to go. So you like really have to fight against them. But the insidious thing that I keep seeing is somebody doesn't really want to deal with it yet. They're not really ready to think about it. That's what it is. They're not ready to think about whatever the task is or whatever the project is or whatever. And they'll say, let's have a meeting. We'll have a meeting. And then you'll go, okay. And you look at your calendars, you're all busy as fuck. Everybody's busy as fuck. You're too busy to schedule it. That's the reality. Like, taking time to schedule it is ridiculous. You might as well take that very amount of time it's going to take to schedule it and just have it. Like fine, like jump on a Zoom and tell me what you want. Yeah, it turns, okay, it's next Thursday. Okay, so we'll do that now. And then nothing happens between now and next Thursday to prepare for this project. Oh, it drives me nuts. Oh, yeah. Because there's enough complexity in projects and in work and in whatever, creative endeavors and all the rest of it. There's enough things that hold you up. There are enough things that are going to be hard to get around. That what you don't need the small stuff that everybody could be overcoming iteratively all the time. You don't need for that stuff to get punted and that stuff to get scheduled out. Anyway, I'm sure everybody has a really strong opinion on things like this, because I mean, you talk about the personality types. There's just as many people who probably are like, I just find that it's much easier instead of all this back and forth with these difficult texts. I just find 5 minutes for coffee.
That's just like how, companies are going back to work, and it's because we feel like there's some unspoken, because they don't even have data to back it up. There's some unspoken like things that can happen when people are together, and it's just like, I don't know if that's true.
It's probably true that like non-deliberate action takes place, and sometimes that's beneficial.
Yes.
But like, and it's probably true that like, because remote requires deliberate action all the time, like you have to actually schedule things, or you have to actually reach out to somebody proactively. You're not going to bump into them. That means that like there could be opportunity cost, but I really like deliberate sort of like scheduled, designed work. We're like, this is what we're doing and why we're doing it, and these are the deadlines. And
Yeah, that's my jam too.
yeah,
I like getting those schedules and being
here's
like,
what we're doing.
Yeah,
Not like, oh, here's what we're doing accidentally.
let's have a meeting to discuss this and then have no progress on it. Schedule the next meeting.
You're sitting in your office. Yeah, and that's, I mean, especially talking about like the sociable stuff, sitting in your office trying to get something done, especially if you're trying to get it done before the next meeting, right? You're trying to just close something out before 12 o'clock or something. And somebody gets it in their mind. They're like, hey, got a minute? And do you ever, I mean, how often do you get to be like, no. And got a minute? Well, geez, that sounds like a real. I'm like, well, actually, I've got like 4, and they're all supposed to be for me. But
yeah, and I get caught in tasks. So if like people start pulling me away from tasks and distracting me, I get just irrationally upset because I'm like, I need to get this done, or else like the thought and mojo train is just gonna go somewhere else.
So anyway, we went to New York, and but she was watching Big City Greens, which is a cute cartoon show on Disney. Pretty funny too, actually. Decent animation. It's good. Big City Greens is good. People, it's not Bluey, but it's good. They did some parody of the American Girl doll store. And Gloria happened to have an American Girl doll named Genevieve. But she also decided that sometimes Genevieve's name is Cantaloupe. And her name is? Genevieve.
Cantaloupe or Genevieve?
And she said, like, I really want to go to that store in New York. So we said, all right, well, instead of a party, why don't we schedule some time out there? So we took the Amtrak train from Providence, and that was
cool.
awesome. And you start to realize, you're like, oh, you can go to D.C. on this train. You can go to, like, there's all these, you can go to Hartford. You can hit all kinds of places, and it's cheap. It's not dirt cheap, but it's relatively cheap, and it's very, very easy to jump on, and it's comfortable and AC, and you get a table if you want to pay an extra $40 for business class for the family. It was really nice, actually. So for us, it's like 3.5 hours to get there, and we were there during a heat wave, and the air quality is bad enough, man. Like New York City stinks bad enough.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been to New York City in the summer, and it's
now. So we were in Times Square, Midtown, Rockefeller Center. We were in that area. It's just such a fucking shithole. I couldn't believe what a shithole this place really was. And Gloria figured that out like immediately. She was like, gross. Because there was just obvious drug use, obvious prostitution. Like just straight up nudity. Nothing didn't smell like weed, and strong weed, and like weed that's been baking in the fucking sun.
Yeah, that's the thing is like when I lived in a city and or visited New York frequently, this was before pot was legalized. And so you didn't really smell that. You'd smell it at some corners here or there. But yeah, now it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Am I going crazy, or did people promise us that if you legalized weed, there wouldn't be more weed usage necessarily overall? Were we told that?
I have no idea what we were told.
Fuck, now I feel gaslit. Because I swear that people were saying that. They were like, well, really, if you legalize it, there would be no increase in usage. People wouldn't suddenly go, oh, it's legal, I'm going to take it now. And so I don't know what the increase in usage has been since, like, mass legalization. But, like, if you told me it was 2x, 3x, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's just if you go on a bus, smells like it. You go on a commuter rail, it smells like it. You go to the mall, it smells like it.
Yeah, you wait for the bus and the little cubby, it smells like it. You wait for
To me, as somebody who doesn't imbibe, it stinks real bad to me. And especially like in that open air city sewage plus pot stink. I'm just like, this fucking place sucks, dude. One thing about this city I've always felt, though, it's a little gross.
Yeah.
And it made me really love Boston. I already love Boston. I'm a big Boston fan. I mean, we're not perfect. We've got, you'll see the things that you see in every city in Boston, but not nearly, because we're just not nearly as huge, not even close.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I'm sure people are from Brooklyn or whatever. I mean, I don't know if they prefer Brooklyn or other areas of the city. Probably they do. But anyway, this kind of bustling, hot, busy area was a shithole. And we walked about a mile to the Belvedere Hotel, and we got to see Broadway. And we didn't go to a show or anything, but we walked around that area. We got to see the Today Show getting filmed nearby. That was kind of cool. The real estate is so fucking precious that like every building is a famous building almost. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Gloria went to the M&M store and tried to print M&Ms that said "Help me" on them, and they wouldn't do it because they were like, I think it was like a Latina clerk, and she was like, "Sir, you can't print this because it could be alarming to people. This could be alarming." I was like, "Alarming?" It said the girl wants "Help me" on the M&Ms. We didn't do it. It was okay. I didn't mind. It would have been $25 for a cup of Help Me's. We went to the Hershey store. That was kind of it. They had all the Reese's stuff or whatever. We went to Midtown Comics. It was a very mediocre comic book store, honestly. There's one thing that's kind of interesting is like right when you get out to like on Broadway, there's just a huge like Olive Garden. Like if you want to go to a fancy meal after the show. And here on Broadway, it's a gigundous Olive Garden.
There's no culture anymore.
I'll say this, shithole aside, walking around that area, that New York Americana at like 7 a.m, that was really fun.
Yeah.
That was very enjoyable. It was nice and cool. And yeah, we went to this fucking American Girl doll store, and it was my sister caught wind that we were going for her birthday, so she gave Gloria a $200 gift certificate.
Oh, wow.
So we had scheduled a lunch there. You can have a lunch there. And they bring out like a table, like a seat for your doll and all this. But she already had a doll. So she was like bringing in a doll. And we thought, she'll want to get clothes for her, right? She's like not into it. She didn't want, and my kid, one thing that's really cool about her, she is not a gimme. So she's like, we'll go to a store and we'll be like, do you want anything? And she's like, not really. Or like if she's eating her food, she won't like, if she's eating cake or something, she won't like hork down the cake just because she likes cake. She'll be like, I'm full. I don't want to I don't need to finish this. But we were in a situation where we really needed to spend these $200 because like, where else were they going to go?
Yeah.
And so it was terrible. We were really cajoling her into being, consumerist.
No, I'm good.
Overpriced doll crap. She ended up getting like a desk, like a toy desk for her doll, like a little computer.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
And like a varsity like Letterman jacket with a G on it for herself. It was very cute. Yeah, we had fun. I mean, yeah, I just enjoy going places with my family, even shitholes. It's just kind of cultural and cool. And
did you go to the Nintendo store?
Oh yeah. We went to the Nintendo store, and all of our friends assured us that it was actually a terrible video game store, and that if you want, there's like 1-2 miles out. That's a really great video game store. They said it's called like Video Games New York or something. We didn't get to go out there, but we went to Nintendo, it's right by the NBC stuff. So like the Comcast building, the Today Show, all that. Colbert I think is in there somewhere. And it was 2 floors. It was not humongous, and the retail was kind of what you see everywhere, pretty much. Like that was the truth. I guess the cool thing, there were like 2 or 3 really cool things about it. One was there was a giant line outside for Switch 2. All the way around the block, and you could bypass it if you weren't interested in buying a Switch 2.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. In fact, there was a parent nearby. They were like, "Hey, you visiting or something?" We're about to go to the Nintendo store. They were like, "Tell them you don't want a Switch 2." This is now like 3 or 4 weeks after the release. I was like, I wonder why why it's still so bustling. And my guess is because they always stock them. They probably always have them there.
Yeah. It seems like even most places, even around here, that are not the Nintendo store, they've been stocking them pretty consistently. So Nintendo seems to have produced enough to meet the demand. It seems like, or at least it's keeping up with it.
Upstairs, there was a giant like new game demo area that was really cool, especially since Switch 2 just came out. So it was like think of it like a huge open floor, and it had a giant projector on it, and that was kind of the main demo station. You could play DK Bonanza on that. And then they had like little kind of stations all around where you could play DK Bonanza and Mario Kart World. And they had, giant statues of Bowser, Mario, Luigi. They had like there was some retail that was categorized by like, this is the Rosalina stuff. This is the Peach stuff. This is, that was kind of cute.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like your boys would get a kick out of it,
I'm sure. I'm sure they would love it. They're even when we go to GameStop, they're like, oh, there's Mario, there's Peach's Castle, there's that. And so
it was good. It was good. I think I was expecting something a little more akin to like the American Girl doll store, or we went to FAO Schwartz. Holy shit.
Oh no.
I've never been inside an FAO Schwartz, and this is the FAO Schwartz. This is Duncan's toy chest from Home Alone 2. I mean, it's like you can barely walk, first of all. I mean, there's that many people. There's like every kind of toy imaginable. There's like sales reps that are standing up on pedestals, like throwing boomerangs that are coming back to them and doing, they have like headset microphones or like,
God.
come on up and you play with this kinetic sand or whatever the fuck. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's too much. More stimulation.
So I was kind of I thought maybe Nintendo would be like a little bit more on crack. I was kind of like open to the idea that Nintendo would be on crack, but they weren't. It was good. It was. Oh, there was like a Nintendo Switch 2 backdrop for photos, so it could look like you were kind of like in a promo for Nintendo Switch 2. It was kind of cute. It was good. I mean, if I was ever gonna going like right at the launch or right around the launch of a new console was kind of fun.
I think you threw your back out.
Oh, no, never throw my back out. I'm too young to throw my back out. I got play some b-ball with my homies.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.